like, comment, and subscribe. This is a show by the people and for the people, and you, my friends, are the people it's for. You're my people. So jump in, comment, let us know what you think. Be a part of this ride. It's a joy ride. So hop in. You got shotgun for another episode. And today we got a good one for you. A banger, as the kids say. Say goodbye to low flow shower heads. You're not happy with shower pressure? Donald Trump says, by God, we're going to get the water flowing again. Your scalp is going to be feeling it. And ex-Navy SEAL Rob O'Neill drops by to have a little bit of fun. We had so much fun talking to him last time. He is back again today. But we'll begin. LeBron James receiving one of the greatest honors of his career. I mean, we're talking about a guy who has 50,000 points in the league. We're talking about a guy who's been to the NBA Finals 10 times. We're talking about a guy who has 4 championships. We're talking about a guy who's led the league in scoring. We're talking about a guy who's been to the All-Star game, 20 plus times in his career. The guy is an absolute legend, but finally, can we say that the legacy may be at last complete? Because LeBron James has his own Ken doll. Yeah, that's right. Take a look at this, won't you? The kid from Akron with his own Ken doll right there. He can hang out now with Ken and Barbie and Skipper and the whole gang. LeBron partnering with Barbie to create this. And look at that. Look how happy LeBron is. There he is. Grab yours now. You know that they're going to be flying off the shelves, flopping right off the shelves. There's at least 3 on the aisle in every Target and Walmart all around America. He's looking for the whistle. Look at this thing. Oh my God, LeBron. Listen to this. The post that went out from the LeBron James Foundation says in part, the kid from Akron is now the first Ken doll of a professional athlete. He is a Ken-bassador, is what we're being told. Look at this. Look at this. So much more than a doll. It represents the reality that a kid from anywhere can make a difference. We're incredibly honored to partner with Barbie to continue inspiring the next generation. And when they see this fucking thing, they're going to be inspired, believe me. I was inspired by this. I was inspired to bring Oscar Goldman to work today. He's sitting right here with me. As a young kid, I was fortunate to have role models who not only inspired me, but also showed me what's possible through hard work and dedication. And now your child can have a role model as well when they grab this 9-inch long LeBron James doll and take it to the Malibu dream house. Look at that. Recognizing LeBron's positive impact on culture, style, and community. What a douchebag. Why does he look like such a douchebag?
Was part of the deal that they have to do a Bronny doll too?
I'm surprised he doesn't have Bronny in the Zach Galifianakis hangover papoose. Ron, does it come with papoose, Bronny? Do you have to buy him extra? What do you think about it, Oscar Goldman? I brought Oscar Goldman to work today. He doesn't have the exploding briefcase, unfortunately, but he's here. I thought it was the right day to honor him. I mean, his clothes probably will fit LeBron. Maybe I'll buy a LeBron and put Oscar Goldman's clothes on him and see how that goes. That might be a thought. The Barbie universe, look, man, I'm a dad of 5 daughters. I am used to Barbie dolls being scattered everywhere, Barbie shoes everywhere. I've stepped on more Barbie things that have hurt my feet in my lifetime than I care to admit. Barbie's everywhere, so I don't know. My girls are getting a little older now. I don't think that LeBron is going to make his way into their world, but perhaps LeBron will meet this guy. He's And we can't see, unfortunately, we can't see the entire tweet. So the caption context, there we go. Alan, take a look
With
at it.
two
And then
L's.
down there
With
below
two
it,
L's.
yeah, he's Alan with two L's. And look down below, he's Ken's buddy. He's Ken's buddy. This is obviously what Ken and Alan were telling Ken's parents back in the 1960s when such things were less socially accepted. This is my friend. You know, it's like, sure. Have you noticed that Ken and Alan are hanging out a lot? They're inseparable. Everywhere that Ken goes, it seems like Alan's there. They sure are good friends. It's like when I was young, my mother has a cousin named Dale, and it was never spoken in the family. Dale, if you're watching, sorry. It was never spoken in the family, but it was kind of known, whatever. And when I was a kid, Dale had a friend. And we would visit them in Tennessee, the family. And Dale would drop by with his friend. And, you know, my grandmother and my mom would always explain it to me. Well, that's Dale's friend. So I didn't realize until later, I think that Dale's friend was his Alan. Ron, is what happened. I prefer the edgier Barbie dolls. How about this, Ken? Little known from the 1970s here, if we can pull it up. This one's edgy, Ron. And as I tweeted, I said, look, I got to admit, just killed Barbie and fleeing to Mexico with $10,000 in a bad disguise, Ken, that was a bold move for Mattel in the 1970s. Have a look at this fucker.
Ricky, you even put the trademark symbol up there.
Yes. See that? Thank you for noticing. That is the extra degree of care that I put into my tweets. That's what separates me from the guys in AAA. Ron, thank you for that. But look at the facial hair on this guy. You could give him whatever you want. Down at the bottom, he's kind of got the Gabe Kaplan going. If you couldn't afford a Mr. Cotter doll, you'd just bring this fucker in the classroom to spar with Barbarino and Horshack.
Oh,
but
God.
I don't know. He looks a little bit like Neil Diamond there too. Before you put the facial hair on him, there's a little bit of a holly holy love, dream of only me. I killed Barbie and now I'm in Tijuana looking for a hooker with the $10,000 I brought here in a duffel bag. I don't know, Ron. Ken, you could have a lot of fun with LeBron, I'm sure. Barbie is probably very excited about it. You know? There was a Dr. J doll back in the 70s, Ron, and it said on the box he was 9.5 inches. So there you go. Here's another one, Ron. I like to tweet about, you tell me I'm a figurine guy. I like to tweet about action figures. Today in 1977, Judge Evel Knievel sentenced your sister's Ken doll to the electric chair for being a dork. Firm, but fair is what I would say to that. Ron, I mean, I don't know.
I'm just trying to picture.
What's that for?
Christmas morning.
Is that
I'm just
for
trying to picture
mice?
Christmas morning, right? It's Christmas morning. All the presents are out. And the kid opens that up and he's just like, is he excited because he asked for it? He circled it in the wish book. Like, it's a surprise.
Does it have a real voltage to it of some kind? Could you feel it? Like if you touched it, would you be like, goddamn, what the fuck? I don't know.
I don't even know.
But,
how'd you even find that?
Who knows, Ron? Who knows how I find any of this stuff? Let's get to some good news. I think they should have given the electric chair to whoever decided that we should have low pressure shower heads. If you're not happy with Donald Trump on other issues, can we all agree that Donald Trump saying that shower pressure needs to be great again in this country is something that we need? Let's take a look.
This executive order, we're effectively going to be reversing that set of regulations to ensure that Americans have choice in the consumer market. If they want a low-flow shower head, they can buy one. If they want a real deal shower head, they should have the ability to get one. That's true.
You buy a new house, you pay a lot of money, and the developers, you're not allowed to do anything more. They put restrictors on. They used to have a restrictor where you could take it out, but now they weld it in. And you take a shower or wash your hands, whatever you do, including dishwashers where no water comes out. But you wash your hands, and in my case, I like to take a nice shower to take care of my beautiful hair. I have to stand under the shower for 15 minutes till it gets wet. It comes out drip, drip, drip. It's ridiculous. And what you do is you end up washing your hands 5 times longer. So it's the same water. And we're going to open it up so that people can live, and we're going to hopefully have Congress approve it so it's memorialized.
The struggle is real. As another gentleman who has magnificent hair, I can relate, Donald. I can relate. It makes me think, Ron, of the Seinfeld episode. You remember the Seinfeld episode where Jerry had low water pressure?
Yep.
Yeah. He was having trouble with his hair throughout the episode. It is awful. There is nothing worse, honest to God. I judge if I'm in a hotel.
Absolutely.
I don't need a lot. Give me a bed that's reasonably comfortable, and give me a shower that's good, and I'm happy. But when I moved into the apartment that I reside in currently, Ron, one of my biggest complaints was the shower pressure. I mean, it was awful, Ron. Absolutely fucking awful. And I had a guy come over to look at it. A maintenance guy came in because it also took it forever to heat up. That's another problem. You have one of those showers where you turn it on and like 30 seconds later, it's still cold. That's no good either. And I had one of those situations going. So they sent a guy out. And I said, man, the water pressure is just fucking terrible on this thing. And he's like, I can fix that for you. And he goes in and takes the governor off, or whatever you call the thing that's in there to
slip him a 20.
Limit the pressure. Yeah, I didn't even have to give him anything, man. But I was like, bro, that's like the best somebody's hooked me up in the last 2 or 3 years on anything.
Well,
so shout out to you, maintenance guy. You're a fucking American hero, unsung American hero.
So you met Lori this past weekend, and she has a mane of hair. So the water pressure doesn't really affect me, but I can tell you, Trump's 100% right. The amount of time that Lori has to spend washing her hair with low pressure is easily 5 times what it takes when she's got proper pressure. So I'm just imagining now there's a Democrat out there in the House that's got, big, thick, luscious hair, and they're just like, they would kill to have high pressure, but just because they're going to be so against this proposition.
Right. Well, that's how it is now in our society. You decide what you think about somebody, and then no matter what they do or say, you have to hate it. That's the way it works, and it tends to go both ways, but it especially goes that way with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody has decided that Donald Trump is the devil, there's nothing that he can do that is ever going to be acknowledged as good. Speaking of things that go on in the bathroom, Ron, here's one for you. Here's a page from the Sears catalog from back in the day. This is, if you look really at it, it's really toilet seats are the things that they're selling. And I said, Frank, this is the 3rd time this week I found the Sears catalog under Johnny's mattress bookmarked to this page. Dad says, well, honey, I guess the boy loves toilet seats almost as much as his old man does. But there it is. I'm going to tell you right now. There were some guys that were taking the Sears catalog into the bathroom to enjoy it. The struggle was real, Ron. Back in those days.
Looks like she has some well-positioned jets in that tub.
Well, Thank God for that. Or it would have been too hot for the catalog. Listen, this takes me back. I got to tell you this. So there was a guy that I went to school with and that I don't particularly like, but I'm a classy person. I'm not going to name him. I'm not going to punch down. You're lucky that I have class, motherfucker. Because Ron, back in the early 1990s, this guy would take liberties. I noticed that my golf cart, I would go to play golf and I would notice that my golf cart gas was out. One time I ran out of gas and I'm like, how can I have run out of gas? I just put gas in this. Another time there was like orange soda spilled all over it. And I was like, what's going on? I came to find out later, this dude that I knew was going and using my golf cart when I wasn't there.
Wait,
and a mutual
how old were
friend
you that you had a golf cart?
Finally told me.
You had a golf cart?
I was like 19 or 20. Yeah.
You had a golf cart.
It wasn't that expensive. It was like $500. You kept it at the golf course.
Okay.
You know, and you'd use it when you were there. They had like facilities where you could store your own golf cart.
Interesting. I did not know you were a golf cart guy.
Golf cart. I was at one time. It's been a long time ago. But anyway, I come to find out later that this motherfucker had been taking my golf cart. And so years later, I found out, my girlfriend told me this, hey, sweetheart, that when he was a kid, he would cut pages out of the Sears catalog and tape them to his bedroom wall. You know how like I had Kristi Brinkley on the wall when I was a kid. Some people had Farrah Fawcett on the wall.
He had Marge with that bra. He had Marge with the bra.
He had Marge in the bra from page 247 of the Sears catalog. You sad, sad fucker. You. Oh my God.
You know who you are. You know who you are.
You know, I could name you so easily. I could name you so easy. Golf cart thief / sad guy who's jacking it to pictures from the Sears catalog that you tape to the wall. He's lucky I have class. Speaking of class, Ron, Donald Trump has shown the class lately. Yeah, he's shown class lately and inviting the winners of goddamn near everything to the White House. Remember when we were concerned, oh, will people go to the White House? Well, everybody's accepted invitations. We're one step away. Next month, it's going to be like everybody that's won a Monopoly game in the last 6 months. Come to the White House. You're going to get a medallion from the boss. Take a look at this. Let's go ahead and put it up. North Dakota State. There they are. Winners of the FCS championship. That is the what used to be Division 2A college football. Now they call it the FCS. They were applauding him clearly for the restoration of water pressure in this country. Here are some racing champs. We've got Roger Penske and various NASCAR, Indy, and IMSA, whatever the fuck that is. Basically, this is everybody that can drive something fast coming by to visit the White House and get some recognition. So that's nice. I believe next Tuesday, everybody who has won a stuffed animal from a claw machine in the month of March will be dropping by the White House to receive a medallion as well, Ron. So it turns out this isn't an issue at all. Everybody's going to the White House to get their recognition. Here's some recognition, Ron. Take a look at this. Here's the best Wheel of Fortune lineup that there's ever been in the history of the program. This was the day that the bar for Wheel of Fortune guests was set, and don't hold your breath waiting for it to be surpassed anytime soon. There are some real legends there.
What's Little Richard looking at? He's got something's bothering Little Richard.
Well, maybe he's thinking about needing to buy a vowel, Ron. I don't fucking know. But James Brown taking a moment from doing copious amounts of cocaine to join the show, and of course, the great Weird Al Yankovic.
He needs high water pressure.
Well,
He definitely needs hot
Weird Al
water.
Yankovic needs to go to the White House. Can we recognize this motherfucker for his contributions to American
God,
society?
how old is he
culture?
now? He's got to be old.
Well, geez, he's got, I would think he's at least in his mid-60s probably.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, easily.
He would have to be. If he was 25 when, he was doing stuff in the early 80s, that would put him at 65.
Yeah.
So how about that? How about that? Tim confirming he is in fact 65. So I nailed that one. Our own Armando Salguero is going to be at the White House later this month to cover the Philadelphia Eagles going there to get their recognition. So it's a good time to visit the White House in this country. I don't know, Ron. It's good stuff. Let's see here. I don't know. Chad Ochocinco, Ron. Much like yourself, Chad Ochocinco, he's not a drinker. Ochocinco saying that he has never had a drink. Not even you are that steadfast. Look at this.
Nope.
I've been sober 17,167 days. Alcohol has never touched his lips, and that son of a bitch has acted more buzzed during his life than 90% of drinkers. He's just high. Nature just wired him to be high.
Kind of how I am, Ricky.
It is.
Is Jared going to chastise him?
Well, I don't look
for not drinking at an airport.
Jared wants to. I'm going to side with Jared on this. Why should Ochocinco get a pass? It is. I'm being told in my ear that yes, Jared is going to chastise him for being a pussy who won't drink. Jared and I are both like 80s very special sitcom episode villains. It's like I want everybody to do drugs and drink and be cool. I'm like Johnny Dakota showing up on Saved by the Bell and offering Zach Morris a joint, and Jared is right there with me. Luka Doncic made it home. LeBron James and Luka arriving in Dallas. It was an emotional scene last night. Luka returning to the city that he has had such a love affair with since the beginning of his professional career, where he made his name. And quite frankly, I think he took it hard when he went to Los Angeles. We forget sometimes that these are people. These are human beings. Yes, they're very rich. Yes, we have reason to think that their lives are pretty good, and we don't need to feel too sorry for them when something like this happens. But having said that, look at that look on Luka's face there as they played a video package on the Jumbotron ahead of him being introduced before the game last night. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Sincere. Not for the camera. Real human emotion. The best of what sports is about. That love was certainly given back to him from the Dallas fans who, let's face it, wish that he was still there. Thanks a lot, Nico Harrison. And of course, the Lakers win and Luka puts up 45. How about that? How do you like them apples? Remember when you used to have a superstar in Dallas who used to do things like that on the regular? Well, he was nice enough to drop by and remind you how fucking awesome that he is. He becomes only the second player in NBA history to drop 45 points or more for and against the same team in the same season. So how about that? The only other person to do it? Got any guesses? Ron, you got a guess?
No, tell me.
Wilt Chamberlain, motherfucker.
Oh.
The Big Dipper is the only other person to ever do that. My pleasure this morning to welcome back to the program a man who is a former Navy SEAL, and not just that, he is in fact the Navy SEAL who completed the mission to find and eliminate Osama bin Laden. He is the host of The Operator. He's the author of the book, The Operator, as well. Pleasure to welcome back to the show, Rob O'Neill. Rob, how are you?
What's up, Ricky? How you doing, brother? Dude, you've been on fire lately. I've been retweeting the hell out of you.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. You know, I got to tell you, I have thought of you several times when I'm getting ready for this show. because I'm always scurrying around, getting my hair combed and getting in this seat, lots of times about 30 seconds before it's time to get going. And I remember what you said when you were on the show. Now tell me if I got this right, because this is how I remember it anyway. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, so that's what I tell myself as I'm scrambling. I feel like I'm a little bit of an operator now, Rob.
100%.
Hey, if you can say I'm an operator? Okay.
I think if you can handle that hair, absolutely, you're an operator. And that's the key to a lot of things that we learn too. Is if you want to be fast, slow down. But slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Totally works. And then don't overcomplicate anything. My saying is, don't talk yourself into an ass whooping. Just if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And even like with current events right now, if your enemy's screwing up, don't stop them. Don't interrupt.
Yeah, well, I saw John Kennedy saying the other day that the plan for AOC is Operation Let Her Talk, I believe he said. So sometimes the best argument that you can make for yourself is to just shut up and let the other side speak.
Oh, yeah, it totally is too, especially if you have interrupters like she does, or like Jasmine Crockett, same cloth right there. And even if you're talking to someone, like if you're giving an interview and they're spouting out nonsense, like ask an open-ended question, just give them silence and watch how they react. They don't know any better than just to start talking and fill an empty space. And chances, I mean, you can sit there and listen to someone talk for a long time, and if you don't say anything, they might finish and say, wow, you're a great conversationalist, because you just let them run their mouths. It's a good tactic. It's an interrogation tactic too. It works really well.
Yeah, well, it's the wisdom of Abraham Lincoln, right? He said, better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. And we've got some folks out there, as you point out, Rob, who are speaking and removing all doubt. Let me start with the really important stuff, Rob. What do you think? President Trump, goodbye low pressure shower heads. America on its way to being great again. We're going to get our water pressure back. Rob, there's nothing I hate more than a shower with a weak stream.
Yeah, and I know it's like a lot of ideas from the left. It sounds good, but it's not going to work. I mean, if like same with washing your hands, or even if you try to shave once in a while, if you have low pressure, I think you're going to use more water because you're trying to get what you want out of it. It's like even in New York, they've banned plastic bags for paper bags, but paper bags just suck. If it rains, there's no handles, you can't carry anything, and they're finding out, if you can imagine, they're worse for the environment than plastic bags. So just horrible. Yeah. Anyway, Donald Trump's doing a good thing, though. I can't think of anything, and if anyone in your audience can correct me, that's fine. I can't think of anything that woke has invented that makes everything better. It's just a pain in the ass, and it's all virtue signaling for we're going to save the planet when they can't even get their own house in order. So it's nonsense that they can hammer through. But I see it coming to an end, and I hope it comes to an end.
I hate it when I go to a bookstore and they say to me, "Do you want a bag?" And then, like, if you say that you want a bag, it's like they're like, you're just gonna, okay, yeah, I'm the asshole who wants a bag. I'm sorry, I'm the bad guy because I don't want to carry 3 loose books around, for the rest of the afternoon.
They'll do that at grocery stores too. You'll have 50 items, and do you want a bag? It's like, no, I can fit all of these eggs in my pocket. Yeah, but I think they're forced to ask that. But again, though, they give you attitude, and then they want you to tip them. We got to tip everybody now.
Rob, speaking of showers, how good did it feel? I mean, you were a guy who, you understand the preciousness of a good shower probably more than the average person because of situations you've been in where you didn't have that luxury. How good did it feel to get that great shower after you hadn't had one for a ridiculous amount of time?
That's always awesome, because one of our other sayings is the mission's not over until you're in the showers. And that's the same with sports. It's the same in combat. Like, as soon as you're done with combat, you take your stuff off, you clean the team gear, you clean your personal gear, then you clean yourself. And that's how it works. Once you're cleaning yourself, it's a mission accomplished. You made it back. You're going to live, or you either won or lost the game. And it's just nice too. The showers after the Bin Laden raid were especially nice because we weren't stationed at at that base. But when you want some good deals, find the Seabees, which is the Navy Construction Battalion, because now technically we're not allowed to do this, but they always have beer and whiskey, and they have the best showers because they build this stuff. So that one was awesome because they give you some of their top shelf stuff because we just did a great mission. They had a pizza oven and then a shower with that. Is just and plus a mission that we were supposed to dine that we lived on. So that last shower was awesome.
All right, Rob. Let me move on to something that's making its way around like wildfire on social media. Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, former governor of South Dakota. This photo, let's go ahead and get a look at this, or this footage. Kristi Noem here, photo opportunity, and everybody's talking about how she is holding this gun and how unsafe it is, and that maybe she didn't need to be holding that. What are your thoughts here on Kristi Noem and responsible handling of firearms?
Oh, look, this is from personal experience. If you show a gun on social media, you're going to get 1,000 corrections easily. You're doing something wrong. I've had dudes see videos of me and they say, well, obviously this guy's never been in a gunfight. You know, you're going to get it. Looking at that gun, because it's that picture, it's sort of two-dimensional, and it looks like she might be aiming at dude's head next to her. I don't think she is, and I'm pretty sure he told her how to hold it. But she grew up on a farm. She knows how to hold a gun. Her finger's not in the trigger, so I don't see a problem with it. It's not like a gun's not just going to go off. You could take an M60 machine gun, a belt-fed machine gun, put it on the ground on fire, fully loaded, and it's not going to go off. So guns just don't go off. Like in the movies when you throw it and it blows up, doesn't happen. Her finger's not on the trigger. It's not aimed at her buddy's head. Did she need one? No, but it's obviously an op for her next, whatever, when she's done with this job, whatever campaign she's a part of, because once they get in the cabinet or once they get into politics, they don't get out of politics. That's why you see guys that are congressmen, then governors, then senators. That's their job. She's fine. It's a photo op. She's not going to be out there shooting anybody. She knows how to use it. And hell, she's talked about, murdering her own animals on her farm. So she's used them before.
She has. That's so ridiculous, though. Doesn't that say so much about social media, though? That you, a Navy SEAL, a guy who's conducted, one of the most important operations in the history of our country, and somebody's like, oh, this fucking guy doesn't know how to hold a gun. I see it in golf videos. Like a lot of golf shit comes up in my reels, and there's always in the comments, no matter how smooth somebody's swing is, the first 20 comments are always like, well, there's no way he's going to be able to do anything with that. And the guys that are criticizing probably can't fucking break 100.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Say.
The internet's funny. Like, I've got a great recipe. I like to bake. I've got a great recipe for banana bread that I've been using a long time. I think everybody in the world in person loves banana bread. If I post a picture of that, 2 comments down, it will be fuck banana bread. That's just the nature of the beast. That's and no one thinks that.
Yeah.
Like if everyone had banana bread, there would be world peace.
Hey, OutKick fans on YouTube, if you enjoyed this episode, hit the subscribe button and make your way over to OutKick.com where you can watch the full episode.